We started ballooning in '92 in Natchez. My father had been to the balloon events for a couple of years and finally talked us into going to the event. And we went, we had a blast. I'm the kind of person that I have to participate in whatever event, or I've got to be doing whatever they're doing. So the next year we went back, and George Richard had 4 corporate balloons there that year. And we talked to him, he saw our interest, asked us to come crew with him the next morning, and we did, and we were just hooked.
Let's go. Got one above you.
The next year, George was ready and waiting for us, and we crewed for him every year. And after about the 4th year, one of the guys that my wife had flown with his daughter, it's her balloon, and he'd brought the balloon to Natchez to sell. My wife looked at me and said, "We got to have this." So we bought the balloon and the truck and everything that went with it. It's a sport that I can enjoy, but my family has to be here with me to do it. So it's a family thing, and we have met so many good people, got so many friends, and the kids have learned so much outside of ballooning by doing this. It's just been great. It's one of our favorite places to land is in the middle of the streets. It's a challenge to land there, and you know, on these side streets like this, there's no traffic. Sometimes that's your only choice. And George is the one that taught me to fly. So he taught me to fly and land in those kind of spots. So I usually don't have any trouble landing somewhere, and that's the biggest problem with a balloon. Anybody can fly one, it's the landing part's the tricky part. Yeah, we'll touch it. And that's sometimes how we slow down. And we're gonna land right there.
Are you landing?
Yeah.
All right, we're trying to figure out how to get people back there.
Dean to chase.
Chase.
Karen landed on the other side of the fence over here. Is a little street, I believe. And I'm gonna have the girls pull me over that way, and I'm gonna hop over the fence. We'll land in that street also.
Hey, if you hang on just a second, this guy told me how I could get back there, but I'm trying.
This is wet grass. That's dry pavement.
Well, it's
Gotcha, now let me figure out how to get to Karen. Do I need to go back out into those apartments and back or something?
It's like a meshed up parking lot, but there's like a lot of tall grass.
Oh, okay. Well, if you can get back here, that's good. Kerry says there's grass over there too.
Okay, I'm trying.
We can pull you over that way and put you on the pavement. On the basketball court.
I think Mike just got the gate open.
All right, well, I'm over here on by these houses now. I've got to figure out how to get to you.
Okay, you see where Karen's balloon is? If you go, I don't know.
On the other side of that fence.
It's just directly on the other side of you is where
Hey,
Mike
wait,
is.
look at this. Mama, go back to where we were, where that gate was. Mr. Mike's got the gate.
And it's really, really nice to have two of my chase crew members on the track team and the basketball team. So they can literally chase me down.
Whoa! Oh! You said pull the top of it.
Well, it's gonna come down for
Oh! One, two, three.
Missing a bug.
She missing a bug?
Yeah. So she put a pin in a stick of styrofoam and said it was a no-seal.
And he gave her credit. A no seal, which is really a bug. They're just so little you can't
them little
see them.
nets and bites.
Little bitty gnats that are flesh colored.
And you
No, you
can't
didn't.
see them.
He gave her credit for originality.
Wow. He gave it all.
Daddy! Hey.
It is
Hey,
expected
y'all.
to be down to about 87 by the time you leave on 9 and 10.
Excuse me.
You don't really want to know that,
Excuse
though.
us.
But by comparison, each one of these burners
Well, it's hard to chase, but we fly some in Fayette, Alabama,
Okay.
which is down just above Tuscaloosa. And there, it's pretty mountainous up there. It's beautiful flying, but you would come around, you wouldn't see them, and then all of a sudden, there it comes right over your car. You know, you're driving on the side of the little hills and stuff. It's really pretty. And there's valleys that they would land in, and we do between 6 to 8, depending upon. Let's see, we do one of them. Our first one starts usually around Memorial Weekend, then we go to Foley, Canton, usually the Fayette one, but it was canceled this year. It'll be back next year. Gonzales, this one, Natchez, Greenville. We've done 10 one summer. The longest flight he has probably ever made is maybe 2.5 hours.
That was in Greenville.
Yeah, it was a hare and the hound race, and the hare just flew on forever. And it was in one of our older balloons, and a lot of pilots, you know, the age of a balloon determines also how long it can stay in the air. the older the balloon, the more porous the material becomes, and it's still good. We landed there Friday morning, yeah. And so on longer flights, older balloons can't stay up as long.
Need to chase?
I'm right here, right in front of you here.
You on this main road right here?
No, now you're moving away from me. I've got to figure out how to get to you now. Crossing, I'm sort of at your 7 o'clock here.
I'm going to see if I can land out here and slow me down, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, I got to go get back on the other road.
It's not the most appropriate place to land, but we did okay.
I think it was Mr. Knight.
Amazing. I love it when we on the side of the road like this, all the people can see. Oh, we put the balloon up, get it all packed up, then we drink some champagne. Back in the late 1700s, the Gauffier brothers had a paper factory over in France. And they noticed, and their workers noticed, when they burn the excess paper, scrap paper, it would fly up in the air when they burned it. And it was real smoky and all, and they thought it was the smoke that caused the thing to fly up in the air. So they started making little paper sack type things and basic balloons, you know, primitive balloons. They fly off. So they made a pretty big one, and they put a little basket down there on the bottom. They filled it full of smoke. Tried to get some of the workers to get in, no way, so they put a chicken and a duck and a lamb, a lamb in there. They sent it off. Sure enough, it flew off, went off in the countryside. Well, the Gauffier brothers knew that the countryside people there would be terrified, you know, this thing coming out of the sky, huge envelope coming out of the sky. And so they took all of their best food and their best wine, went out, they found the balloon. Sure enough, people had killed all the animals, pitchforked the balloon. They were terrified, and they broke out their champagne and their food and had a big feast. And people were okay with that. And that's where we come with the champagne now, with the balloon. We toast after each flight with champagne, and that's where it got started. You know, I'm a pharmacist, so my interest is in science. And I just was amazed at the balloon. I mean, to think that the hot air inside that balloon is lighter than the envelope, the basket, and all the people in it. I mean, that's like 1,000 pounds lighter than the air outside, and that's how it floats. So when you start thinking about it, that amazes me.